Welcome to our coverage of qualifying. Somebody's going to win $1,000 and a bonus thanks to CorvetteParts.net to win the pole position for the inaugural running of the Food Country USA 300 presented by Appalachian Sucker Punch here at Newport Speedway, Newport, Tennessee. I'm Jim Tradle along with Adam Mackey, Jonathan Ramos on pit road as well. Qualifying about to get underway with the best of the best when it comes to super late model racing. A lot of stories to tell. A couple of new faces join the field here for our second race in 3 days on the series.
Right, there's one of them, the 7-Eleven car joining us for the first time ever. Out of Ohio, Gabrielle Grigsby, one of the new faces we see making an appearance at Newport Speedway. And our first appearance at the track, pretty cool place. Can't wait to see a race tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be great. You got to watch it on tracktv.com, so thanks for doing the live look in now. We're giving you the free view now. But at some point, we want you to switch on over, so the sooner the better. You won't miss a lap of the action. If you go right now to tracktv.com, our first qualifier out was a car that was very fast at Hickory Motor Speedway 2 nights ago. Once again, one of the faster cars in practice. It's Carson Brown, the number 81 machine, a ASA STARS National Tour Platinum driver. Presented by Rackley Roofing. He's going to compete in all 12 of the events this year. But man, this teenager is on fire when it comes to pure speed.
EBB Logistics, Pay Cafe, GDS, Brand Connect Chevrolet on the track and right against the yellow line, coming to the green flag. This track listed as a 4/10-mile high banked oval. There's definitely some banking in these turns. They've also added some grip to the outside lane. We'll see how that plays out later in tonight's race.
Carson Brown went out first at Hickory Motor Speedway and qualified second. He joined his teammate Colby Howard on the front row in qualifying for the Hickory Motor Speedway race. Here comes Carson Brown once again off the bottom, just gets the left fronts. Dipped below the yellow line for a brief moment at turn 4. Sets a very impressive run, 12.636. 12.636 for Carson Brown.
And that's the quickest lap we've seen in the 2 days. Yesterday's practice, he was quickest a day ago, 12.690. So he is fastest right off the get-go in qualifying as we go on board. The Derek Thorne ride. Derek Thorne out of Bakersfield, California. The Appalachian Sucker Punch, Concord Wealth Partners, and Specialty Manufacturing Chevrolet. Derek Thorne, a fast race car in practice.
They're the Orchard Apple colors on the number 96 for Highlands Motorsports. A rookie at Newport Speedway. Can't say that often about Derek Thorne, as busy and experienced as he's been across the country. They're all first-timers here at this Speedway. Lap number 1 as we go on board with Derek Thorne, 12.823 on lap 1.
Watching Thorne work the wheel on board here at Newport Speedway. Crosses the line second time, a little bit slower as we send it down to Jonathan Ramos.
Yeah, I'm down here with Chase Pinson. Chase, you got a long weekend, but you set the most laps in yesterday's practice. What did you learn here at Newport?
Just working on it all day yesterday. I feel like we gotten better. I feel like our race pace is really good. Haven't really had the short run speed we're looking for so far, but I feel like we made a really good adjustments, and I think we'll have a little bit of a better car here for qualifying.
Next up, 16-year-old winner. He actually won at age 15 at the start of our season at New Smyrna Speedway in Florida. It's Gavin Moschel, racing for Donnie Wilson Motorsports. Gavin Moschel of Mooresville, North Carolina. A very important run for him. This driver's looking for his second win and a chance to get further up the standings when it comes to the overall points, as he's also an ASA Platinum driver for the season.
He's pretty close in qualifying on the first lap. Second quick, 12.685. Does he have another 500ths left on the track? Second lap across the line. Bushell a little bit slower on lap 2. And each of our 3 drivers have actually been quicker on lap number 1 so far.
The importance of Gavin Bushell, he had a 15th place finish. He also has a 6th and a 3rd place finish to match his wins. He's second in points behind his teammate heading into Hickory, Cole Butcher. But I'm telling you, a win would be a big difference maker for that young driver.
Connor Jones, he was fast in practice, and we know he's a good qualifier. We've seen him as a CorvetteParts.net pole qualifying award winner in ASA Stars competition. Can he do it at Newport? Under the way at the green.
Did it twice at New Smyrna Speedway the last 2 years out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, in the Jones Utilities Construction Toyota. Connor Jones at car number 44, making his 7th ASA Stars start.
Across the line, the Jones Utilities construction car goes third quick on lap number 1, 12.765. This field was tight in practice. One little mistake, and you're going to go from first to about 16th.
It was a quarter of a second at Hickory Motor Speedway, first of 17th in qualifying on Thursday night.
Second time, a little bit slower. Carson Brown remains atop the board with that 12.638. Next qualifier from Pinellas Park, Florida, Stephen Nasse.
But Nassie's had a good run. Unfortunately, got a little derailed at Hickory Motor Speedway. He's had speed. He's not known as a qualifier. We mentioned that a couple of times during our broadcast on Thursday evening, but Nassie ended up qualifying and racing his way forward several times last year in great fashion. We'll see if he does it again tonight, but a little bit closer to the front. 51 to Stephen Nassie. Sponsored by Wabam, All-American Concrete, Mitch Smith Plumbing, Brembo Brakes on his Chevrolet.
Across the line goes Nassie for lap number 1. 12.910. His car did show decent speed in practice. They were a little better here at Newport than they were at Hickory the other day, where they did struggle throughout the 2 days on track. Second time for Nassie. Going to remain in the number 5 position. He'll have to race his way through the field here tonight.
A touch quicker there, but not enough to move him up the spot in the standings. Also looking for a better run than Thursday night is the number 30 of Kyle Steckley. As Kyle gets his warm-up laps, let's check back in with Jonathan Ramos.
I'm down here with Gavin Bochelle. Bochelle, P2 currently on the speed charts. I saw you talking to Dennis Dean. What happened?
Just kind of messed up my 3 and 4 there a little bit. These guys are all really, really good, so you can't really make mistakes. But 68 to a 63 shouldn't be bad. Should put us in the top 5. 300 long laps tonight, and I think we got a good race car under us. So I trust my guys. So hopefully we'll be up front at the end of 300.
Gavin Bochelle currently second fastest. Here comes Kyle Steckley to the white flag to complete his first of 2 laps.
Steckley third quick. He was right around mid-pack in practice, right around mid-pack right now after lap 1. 12.757. Steckley, the Canadian driver, rookie of the year a year ago with the series, comes across the line and is a little bit quicker, but stays in the number 3 position.
Won the championship last year for the second straight year in the Auto Parts Center late model series in Canada, racing that series as well, switching over to a Port City chassis mid-season for that number 30 driver. And rolling down pit road goes Kyle Steckley on this unique pit road. It's a small circle within, so we're going to pits all the way around the inner quarter mile in the infield. Queued up and ready to go. A driver that's been busy. Raced at Hickory Motor Speedway on Thursday night with the ASA Stars. He's a star of the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, Craftsman Truck Series, as well. He raced Hickory Thursday night. Had some drive shaft issues last night at Charlotte Motor Speedway in his truck ride. And here he is back with the series once again with Willie out on the pits and the rest of the Rackley Ward team for Dawson Sutton.
Yesterday, Landon Lewis, talented driver behind the wheel of this car, put the car toward the top of the chart in practice. Today, Dawson Sutton did well as well in this 26 car, showing speed. I think they've got a pretty good piece right here.
Qualified 12th and finished 9th at Hickory, a track he's been to before. Let's see what he does to adapting to just a 45-minute session today to get that car up to speed here at Newport.
One of the many drivers with a busy week or so of racing as Sutton crosses the line. Third quick, 12.694. Sutton, as you mentioned, racing Hickory, racing Charlotte, racing Newport. Going to be on Thursday racing at Nashville, where he won the championship a year ago. Big race coming up Thursday night at the fairgrounds. Second time, remains third. Actually, Sutton moves up to second quick, 12.645. Good second lap for Dawson Sutton.
Boy, Gavin Bochelle is confident he's got a top 5 speed here. We got some really fast cars rolling right now between Sutton and the next driver to qualify, the number 54 CNC Boiler Chevrolet of Kannapolis, North Carolina's Matt Craig. Craig qualified third at Hickory. Had some issues. The timing belt, actually the teeth on the timing pulley were stripped. Didn't know if something got into that area to knock it off, but they added some issues. Unfortunately, after a very fast car prepared for that team, the Hamke chassis at Hickory.
Unlike Hickory, where he had plenty of experience and several wins at the racetrack, another driver getting his first experience here at Newport. And he was decent in practice. Crosses the line first time, does Matt Craig. 8th quick, 12.908, looking for more.
Matt is chasing the Southern Super Series points. This is the final race for the ASA Stars, and the ASA Southern Super Series are co-sanctioning the event. Love to see him at more of these events. I'd love to see Matt Craig run the full season.
Second lap, a little bit slower. He stays in position 8 out of 8. He'll have to race through the field, and Craig typically a pretty good qualifier. Next
up, the driver that was in the lead when the axle or both axles went awry in dramatic fashion at Hickory. You need to check out the highlights on tracktv.com of how Cole Butcher's race unfolded at Hickory Motor Speedway. Winner of the first 2 of the first 4 events this year, was in command of the race at Hickory, and things went awry. He came back for a 6th place finish in dramatic fashion. The Atlantic Tilt Load Toyota for the first time here at Newport Speedway with our point leader, Cole Butcher, behind the wheel.
Great rally at Hickory after going to the pits late. Crew so fast and changing the axles, get them back out in just a couple of laps under yellow. and he was able to race his way back to 6th with a fast race car as Cole Butcher goes 4th quick on lap number 1, 12:7:21.
Lap number 2, a little bit of a wiggle off turn 4. Just slipped away on him a little bit. It'll cost him 12:694, 12:694 will put Butcher into 4th position. Let's go back down to Jonathan Ramos.
Yeah, I'm down here with Dawson Sutton. Dawson, not a lot of track time, right, with you racing yesterday in the truck series? How quickly were you with that?
Yeah, I can't really hear much, but, overall, my team brought me a really good race car. Just felt a little bit short there. I feel like it's a little bit too tight, but, we have a good starting spot for tonight, hopefully.
A little bit different. Colby Howard went out late in the session on Hickory and clipped his teammate, Carson Brown, for the Corvette Parts.net pole. Let's see what the driver who can win away with the victory trophy and the big check at Hickory in the Mobile One Toyota can do in his qualifying. Mobile One Chevrolet, excuse me. This is Colby Howard, the pole sitter from Hickory.
Part-time racer on the Appalachian Sucker Punch ASA Stars National Tour. Howard across the line, 7th quick right now, 12:7:76. Across the stripe this time for Howard. Does he move up the chart at all? Going to stay in that number 7 position for Colby Howard, so won't be starting from the front as we saw him.
Just a bit loose off of turn number 4. It's all about compromise, though. These cars will be impounded. They can't do a whole lot of changes between now when we go racing at 7:30 Eastern on Track TV.
And on the Speedway now.
Howard's raced well this year in his limited starts with the series. Here's the 14. Chase Pinsino from Canada, car number 14. US 131 Motorsports Park Chevrolet. Pinsino at the green, getting underway in practice this weekend was 16th.
The driver out of Bell River, Ontario is sponsored by US 131 Motorsports Park. And that's a family business. His grandfather, Alec Pinsino, former ASA racer, took charge of that beautiful facility in Michigan and continues to support his grandson and makes about every race he possibly can since he's been a wee little one for Chase Pinsino off of turn 4 for the final time.
Pinsino's second time by, a little bit slower as he will be in position number 10. Back down to Jonathan.
Down here with Cole Butcher. Cole, it looked like very struggling out there with the racetrack and how things are changing. How are you going to navigate?
Yeah, just a tight little racetrack. Find a little tightness there, but I think we'll be good for the feature.
I would assume Cole Butcher will be good for the feature. He usually is.
But it's a matter of just getting that confidence, knowing the speed is there for the quick run, because a lot of effort has gone into it. A lot of these teams will specifically set the car up for a mock qualifying run during the practice period. So for Cole not to have that speed there, it's a little bit of a downer, if you will, before we go into race time, because these teams won't be able to do a whole lot of adjustments between now and the green flag of tonight's Food Country USA 300 presented by Appalachian Sucker Punch.
First time starter with the series from Ohio, Gabrielle Grigsby across the line. Getting her first lap underway. Jim, a driver that you know a little about, and the family as well.
20-year-old out of Curtis, Ohio, and the Breezy Racing, Sun Forest Building Company. Van Dorn Racing chassis. She's a third-generation racer. Grandpa raced 711, Dad raced 711. They both race blue cars. She said, I want to do the purple car for my mom. It's a family deal. Her dad, Dan, is here as well, and they do a lot of things together as a family. And Gabrielle trying to make her ASA Stars debut. Where'd she end up in qualifying there, Adam?
12th with 13:131, but she's not far off the times that Pinsino and Craig had. She's come a long way already this weekend.
Progressing through 3 practice sessions yesterday and the 45-minute session or so we had earlier this afternoon. Now on the clock, the number 14, Nason Landscaping. Car corner, Lowe's Park Motorsports Ford out of Roscoe, Illinois. It's Austin Nason.
Austin Nason showed pretty good speed at times, a track that might be a little similar to a couple tracks he's raced quite a bit at. A track like Rockford, a track like Slinger. It's got that banking, a little more like a bull ring. Might fit Austin Nason's driving style a little bit more as he looks to turn his season around, starting with Newport, first time across the line. 8th quick on lap number 1.
12.800, 12.800 for Austin Nason. A 2-time winner of the National Short Track Championships at Newport Speedway, his home track. That is now closed, but man, was he so good there. And he knows how to use the lines and use the nuances of the racetrack to get in position. If the track narrows up at all, look for Nason to make his way through.
I say watch him tonight. He's starting 7th at this point through qualifying. Couple guys yet to go, but Nason, pretty good qualifying effort here this evening. Bubba Pollard is next to go. Snow Age driver. The Phoenix Construction Ford, number 26, Bubba Pollard. Was pretty sporty in practice this weekend.
You mentioned Slinger Speedway. Bubba raced there twice. The second time he raced at Slinger, he won the Slinger Nationals on a high bank track in Wisconsin. We're heading back that way on Father's Day Sunday, June 15th for the ASA Stars National Tour, the Al Bandito Yankee Tequila 300.
Pollard coming off of a decent run at Hickory, looking for a little bit more here at Newport, and in qualifying, he's pretty sporty. 5th quick for Bubba Pollard.
That's a good sign for Bubba. Can he get to the CorvetteParts.net pole speed of Carson Brown?
A little bit of a higher lane in 3 and 4 that time. Might have cost him some time, but he ends up 5th quick right now. Pretty good effort for Bubba Pollard.
Next up, one of the ASA Pepperjack Kennels Rookie of the Year contenders, the Ross and Whitmer number 22 of George Phillips, the 16-year-old out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Sponsorship by Mobil 1 on his Toyota, prepared by Donnie Wilson Racing.
George Phillips, a rough night at Hickory a couple nights ago. Looking for much better success here at Newport Speedway in Tennessee, running a little bit of a higher lane down in 1 and 2. Gets her a little squirrely coming off of the second corner. This is first lap, 1 more to go.
He already gave a sucker punch to the outside backstretch wall in practice at the right front and continued on. Where does he end up here?
George there.
Nice job, George, in recovering.
He's up on the wheel, maybe a little too much, sliding it sideways through 3 and 4 across the line. Phillips slower on lap 2, but man, he was driving hard for those 2 qualifying laps.
He talked about improving his qualifying run, and he put it all out there. Good job by George Phillips, the 16-year-old full-timer in the ASA Stars National Tour. That will conclude our qualifying for the Food Country USA 300, presented by Appalachian Sucker Punch. One more car being presented. I don't know if the driver's here yet, though. Dun, 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 dun. Big drama. Big drama. You know why? This is the ride of the Shockwave Marine Seats Chevy for Derek Kraus. Derek Kraus is actually competing in tomorrow's Coca-Cola 600 NASCAR Cup Series race. His dad, Mark, is pushing the car. The hope is Derek practiced today at the big track in Charlotte. It's about an hour and 45-minute drive. We'll see if he can get here by the time the race time is here. He's planning on being here in a couple of hours. So Derek Kraus practiced here yesterday. He's racing the Cup Show on Sunday. Looking forward to seeing him race here tonight. Let's check in now with Jonathan Ramos.
Yeah, I'm down here with not 1, 2, but 3 CorvetteParts.net pole award wins for Carson Brown. How are you guys able to adapt so quickly to the ever-changing schedule?
Yeah, just a big thank you to Anthony Campy for getting this car good and dialed in. But yeah, very thankful to have 3 poles this year, and feels really good. Just need to kind of put it together in the race. We haven't really quite done that yet. After Hickory, we had some tire issues, so hopefully we can kind of put all the puzzle pieces together.
Speaking of Hickory, this is the same car that raced 2 days ago. What's different about it?
Yeah, not much, just same car, but hopefully we can get some left rear tire issues figured out, and that was kind of our issue, just stagger at Hickory, but hopefully we can sort that out, and hopefully we'll have a good night.
What does it take to go ahead and win on a track this new to you?
Yeah, you know, I like adapting to new tracks. I'm a dirt guy, and you only get 3 laps of hot laps, and that's kind of what I know and what I love. But, yeah, it's pretty awesome to be able to come here to Newport. Very interesting track, very unique. But, yeah, just I like adapting, and I enjoy it a lot.
That's $3,000 extra to Carson Brown this year. He's back on pole.
Adaptive to every environment. He's like a chameleon when it comes to racetracks. At just age 16, last year alone, he raced in the off-road Pro 2 off-road series. Full-time. He raced a dirt late model as often as he could, including this past February, racing during speed weeks on pavement and in a full-blown dirt late model. And then last year he went out and raced with Anthony Campy Racing. And guess what he did at Five Flag Speedway? He won the Pro Late Model Championship. So in terms of adapting, he's got some experience on pavement and dirt, and it's continuing to pay off for that young driver.
Yeah, and adapting tonight, we'll see how the track plays out. Obviously, they were running the low lanes through the turns during qualifying, but I think we're going to see some people out in that second groove during the race tonight as it wears on and tire wear and the setups go away and get better.
And as we're in this beautiful scenic Tennessee mountains, a lot of folks are walking with sweatshirts in hand. We don't know if the track is going to get cooler. We don't really know. That's another question of what does the atmosphere change? How does that affect the racetrack service? How does that help or hurt when it comes to horsepower and applying it to this racetrack? We're going to step away from this beautiful racetrack called Newport Speedway in Newport, Tennessee, about 30 miles as the crow flies north and east of Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We'll be back with more on our coverage from Newport.
Better than a bootlegger. Way better than a bootlegger. Pretty good. Very blueberry. Highly recommend this to anybody out there. Pretty good. 10 out of 10 right there.
I think it's delicious. I had the peach, I had the grape at Five Flags. Trying the pina colada right now. Feels like I'm on the beach somewhere.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
They said I wouldn't make it without a college degree.
They said only a man could be a roofing executive.
They said a former addict always relapses.
They said my amputation would keep me out of roofing.
They said never give an ex-convict a second chance.
They said I could never be a leader.
They said I couldn't support my family as a single mom.
At Rackley, we say they're wrong.
Want to change the world? Change it, one roof at a time.
Our race broadcast brought to you by what the messages saw, El Bandito Yankee Tequila, the official tequila of the ASA Stars National Tour. Lots going on here. Qualifying just concluded. 4 cylinders, front-wheel drive cars, and Crown Vics are on the docket as well. And somebody lost the vice grip. Oh, that's a tin snips down by the. We'll get that cleaned up before we go back racing. It's right.
Oh,
on the
it's
apron
out of
there.
the racing group.
Yeah, way out of the race. It's just at the entrance of turn.
Don't go below the yellow line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he'll pay the price for sure. Hey, we have qualifying just concluded. CorvetteParts.net pole winner Carson Brown was first. Dawson Sutton, Gavin Bushell, Cole Butcher, and the driver standing by with our Jonathan Ramos qualified 5th here tonight for the Food Country USA 300. Jonathan?
I think P5 is too bad. Bubba Pollard, you came here, you tested, you looked good yesterday. You're heading into this race 5th. Anything to go ahead and diagnose?
Yeah, I feel like the race car's pretty good. We practiced good yesterday. I feel like we had good long run speed. Pretty excited about it. The Van Dorn guys did a great job of giving us a good piece. So just go out here and see what we got. It's going to be fun tonight. It's going to be different. It's going to be none of us know what to expect really. So we'll just kind of see how the race plays out and see where we end up.
I like how you mentioned that. Nobody really knows what to expect. They call this place a little Bristol, but for you, what would you say this track is more similar to?
Yeah, this place is it's got a lot of character. It's not like what we typically race on a week-to-week basis. It's not your normal racetrack, but yeah, it's like a Bristol, like a Slinger, Wisconsin, Anderson, Indiana, those type places. It's got some character getting everyone here, and hopefully during the race here we'll be able to move up and put on a good show. Kind of watched some videos. They had a good race here a couple weeks ago or last week with some local racing, so we're excited to see how it races. 300 laps is going to be a long night.
You mentioned Van Dorn Racing. How much has Butch Van Dorn been as a help to you in this year?
Yeah, those guys, they work hard. Him and his brother do an awesome job. It's been a pleasure to work with them. Just the car is so much different than what I'm accustomed to. I've had to lean on them for everything and just kind of learn as we go. And going all these places for the first time, we're kind of building a notebook, really. So, yeah, we just get a couple more races and we just keep getting a little better. I feel like Hickory, I feel like we could have run top 3, top 5 there and ended up 5th. But, yeah, just keep building. That's the biggest thing. It's just keep building, get us some momentum, going these racetracks for the first time. And even though we've been there with experience, it's just building that notebook with these type of cars. So we get that, and we'll hopefully be hitting on all 8 cylinders toward the end of the year.
Now qualifying and racing is night and day different. What can some of these fans expect heading into tonight?
Man, I don't know. I don't feel like anybody knows really what's going to happen. I feel the biggest thing is we got to be there at the end of 300, right? So I think you'll see some guys move around to the top. You'll see some guys stick to the bottom. It really depends on how your car is handling. If you're free or where you're tight, depending on where you go on the racetrack. So you're still going to have to pass around the bottom. So you got to be good. You got to turn. So it'll be interesting.
Bubba Pollard, a lot of racing here tonight. You're going to see him take the green flag.
Just thinking about all the race experience Bubba Pollard has. He's won the Oxford 250. Didn't win the first time there. Went to Slinger. Didn't win the first time. Went back and won the second time. Talked about similarities, building that notebook. But when you think about it, he's got 2 wins in the ASA Stars National Tour. One came at New Smyrna Speedway, which you'd expect him to do well at. But he also won the very first and only time this series visited North Wilkesboro Speedway. So as far as adaptive, we talked about young drivers adapting. Bubba Pollard's really good, now working with the Van Dorn Racing chassis. You know, we had a little bit of fun. This is Memorial Day weekend, and it is one of the busiest Sundays as we're sitting here on this Saturday night in the beautiful Tennessee mountains. The Indy 500 happens on Sunday, and for these racers, we went around the pits at Hickory and asked them, hey, who do you think's going to win the Indy 500 on Sunday?
Kyle Larson, because he's a NASCAR guy.
I don't know. I don't even know. I guess Kyle Larson. I think he'll win it because he's just really good. He's a good driver. I don't really know who else is in it. I don't pay attention to it a whole lot.
Honestly, I have no idea. I've watched a little bit of qualifying and everything, but I don't know. Joseph Newgarden's been pretty strong. I knew that he got some penalties though, but I'm really not sure.
That's a hard question. Paddle Award, because I like him.
Joseph Newgarden. I don't really know that many IndyCar drivers, so I just picked him.
Ooh, that's a good question. It looked like Penske was kind of in some hot water there, but it's awesome. It'd be cool to see Larson do well. You know, I think there's a lot of good guys in the deal, but I can't honestly say that I've got a list in the back of my head to say who I want to win.
Kyle Larson wins the fan vote of the race drivers competing here in the ASA Stars National Tour. We're getting ready to go racing in 2 other divisions, 2 additional divisions, I should say, before we get the big feature rolling here in the Food Country USA 300 here at Newport Speedway. So we're going to dip away and come back with some great short track racing here at this Tennessee Oval in a moment.
Locally sourced means just what it says. As your local grocer, Food Country USA believes in providing exceptional quality and value for our customers, with products sourced from the very best farms in our region. From the farm to our stores to your table. Local farms, local products, great savings. Food Country USA.
Why not give your grill the deep clean it deserves? The CitraSafe Grill Cleaner Complete Bucket Kit has everything you need to get your grill spotless, inside and out. Powered by natural citrus, CitraSafe cuts through the toughest grease and grime safely and easily. No harsh chemicals, no hassle. Recipes taste better on a clean grill.